Erik ten Hag removed the captaincy from Harry Maguire. Erik ten Hag dropped Maguire from his team and accepted a bid to sell him. So this shouldn't really be a talking point because Maguire shouldn't be a Manchester United player anymore. But he made his choice. He chose to stay at Manchester United to fight for his contract and reject that move to West Ham. So Maguire's not going to get much sympathy from United fans this season, but this international break has seen Maguire become the centre of attention again. And there was an article this morning. There's a few things, actually. Maguire's mum commenting on the situation. Jamie Carragher trying to take the conversation somewhere completely different. I want to comment on it. It's just a bit weird. I genuinely think that Maguire, at this moment in time, needs help from those closest around him, rather than being told what he wants to hear, which I feel has been going on for a long, long time. Now, Harry Maguire's mum, I don't know whether she released a statement. I don't know why she put this out, actually. I'll be completely honest. Fabrizio Romano reported it as well. She's not enjoying watching what is going on with Harry Maguire. I mean, what mum would? Nothing that happened in that Scotland game was untoward. It was just part of football. Player gets booed. Player makes mistake. Part of going to tough environments and away grounds. That is part and parcel of football. There was nothing untoward about that, but I suppose it's the latest example of something. Now, Harry Maguire, this is what I say about he needs help from those closest to him at this point. All right? Harry Maguire feels that he's completely fine with handling the pressure. Harry Maguire is hearing from his manager that it's a joke. Any sort of criticism or abuse, it's all a joke towards Harry Maguire. You've got journalists saying, look, actually, my admiration for Maguire goes up and up and up. The more that he ignores, the more admiration I get from him. That's what Ollie Holt was saying in the Daily Mail. This is all part of the issue. If all Harry Maguire is hearing in his ear is, look how good you are, man. Look at all the good things you've done. Then you know what Harry Maguire's going to think? He's going to think that he's got nothing to prove. He's going to be in a mental place where he goes into a training session and goes, yeah, I've got this. Nah, I'm fine, man. I literally have nothing to prove. No footballer, no athlete in any sport, from the bottom level to the absolute elite level, ever has nothing to prove. Because as soon as you do that, you're gone. Someone else is taking the opportunity that you have left behind by being complacent because you've got nothing to prove. This situation that's been going on with Maguire for so long, he's been taken out of the spotlight of Manchester United, right? Erik ten Hag has removed the captaincy from Maguire. Erik ten Hag agreed to sell Harry Maguire. But Harry Maguire decided no. He had a choice to make. His choice was one of two things. Number one, leave and join West Ham. David Moyes would have been a perfect manager for Harry Maguire. Play Premier League football every week. Potentially be the captain of West Ham after Declan Rice left and joined Arsenal. And go on to play a full season of the Premier League ahead of Euro 2024. That was one choice. The other choice was stay at Manchester United, fight for his place, which is, he knows full well that he's not going to be starting for Man United this season unless injuries happen and Brand's injured. So he's probably going to be playing at United. But it was over. He would have left if Man United had paid off the contract. It wasn't because he wanted to fight for his place. It's because he wanted to fight for the contract. Harry Maguire made that choice. Right? And I go back to here and I go back to what is happening with this England situation. And Maguire previously, of course, saying that he's got nothing to prove. I mean, England fans have booed him previously as well. But don't try and tell me that what's happened with Maguire is, oh, nothing's ever been as bad as that. Nothing's ever. I've been part of it. I know I've been a big advocate of criticising Harry Maguire. And I always felt I was justified in what I said. A Manchester United captain is held to higher standards. Therefore, my criticism and my scrutiny of Harry Maguire went further than the average player. And it's why it continued. With Manchester United in free fall, the captain needed to come out and lead by example, be the shield for everybody else and help the club go upwards. Instead, it was just tumbling downwards and Harry Maguire was the captain. So the scrutiny went towards him. But that's why Erik ten Hag has taken the captaincy away from him. That's why Erik ten Hag tried to sell him. But instead of all the warning signs, Maguire decided to stay. He could have taken himself out of that spotlight. And that's what he needs to do. That's what he needs others to tell him to do. Man United have taken him out of the spotlight, and all Southgate does is put him back in it. Oh, you mean he make him? Yeah, that own goal against Scotland can happen. But do not be surprised he's making mistakes when you will not take him out of the spotlight and you will not tell him to go out of the spotlight. He's got nothing to prove. This is what I mean about the people around him. Need to be speaking to him a little bit more honestly. Because it feels like Maguire's in an echo chamber where he's only listening to what he wants to listen to and ignoring the evidence that's in front of him. And something else happened with this Maguire situation today, which is just, it is such a ridiculous stretch that I have to come out and defend Onana in this situation. You know what happened during the preseason. Maguire made a mistake. Onana ran out to him, shouted at him straight away. And Jamie Carragher's trying to take that as, in his view, disgraceful. And in his view, that was just Onana endearing himself to United fans. Number one, Jamie Carragher, don't try and tell me about doing anything disgraceful, mate. You're still trying to clean off the spit from your windscreen when you spat a 14-year-old girl, mate. So, yeah, you might want to be parked on that one. And secondly, well, ladies and gents, let's run through a few examples. So this is Jordan Pickford coming up and screaming at his defenders. Disgraceful behaviour from Jordan Pickford. Right? Here we've got Onana against at Inter. Absolutely berating Edin Dzeko during a Champions League game to the point where Çalhanoğlu, I can't pronounce his name, puts his hand over his mouth to stop him from talking. And here we go with another example. This is Onana shouting at his whole defence. I think that was the opening game. Was that the opening game of the season? I think it was. But no. The only reason Onana's done that is to endear himself to United fans. Other than the fact that elite goalkeepers shout at their defenders. It's part of football. Do not try and take that into something where it doesn't belong. Which is all Jamie Carragher is trying to do there. It is such a ridiculous stretch to try and say that the only reason that Onana did that was because United fans don't like Maguire. And he goes, "Oh, this is an easy win for me. Let me just shout at the guy that no one likes. Then everyone's going to love me." That's what Maguire is. That's what Carragher is trying to insinuate here. Whopper. Absolute whopper. And this whole... Look, right. It's the international break. There's been no football to talk about. So these sorts of conversations and situations, hey, if there was football to talk about, maybe we wouldn't be speaking about it. But Maguire needs to be helped by those closest to him. Those that he listens to for advice. Because Erik ten Hag has acted. He's been dropped from the captaincy. He's been dropped from the starting 11. The only reason he's starting for Manchester United this season is if we've got injuries. And we do have injuries. Varane, not fit. And he doesn't have the athletic build, I don't think, to play every week. So Maguire's probably going to get some games for United. But he won't be first choice. He'll be sloppy seconds. Whereas he could have been first choice at West Ham in the Premier League. But those advising him, and maybe Maguire himself said, no, I want that contract to be paid out. And if he doesn't get paid out, I'm happy to sit at United and bide my time. And this is a player who does not think that he has anything to prove. In that interview, he said that he played for United over 200 times, had been United captain for 3 years, and he's made over 50 caps for England, and he's England's top scoring defender. I've already completed it, mate. Apart from the fact that you've won nothing. Well, not nothing, but you know what I mean. It's just odd. Instead of constantly trying to shield Maguire from the noise that's around him, allow him to hear some of it. Take it on board. Take himself out of the spotlight. Because just continuing stubbornly like this, I don't think is helping him. He might not want to hear it himself, but that's why people close to him have got to help him there. It's weird. It's odd. And don't try and, as I said, don't try and tell me that, oh, this is the worst anybody's ever been treated. Beckham came back to hanging effigies of him after the 98 World Cup and then went on to win a treble. This Maguire situation is, it's almost unbelievable, really.